Hey moguls, it's Dr. T here, and I'm coming to you with one of my review maker reviews. And I've just started to review companies and go beyond all the stuff I typically do in my channel to just share more about my experience of being a person. As a doctor of psychology, I'm often studying things, and studying companies is kind of just comes naturally for me. And I just wanted to review a company that I have been with since 2007. And maybe this is completely fruitless and pointless, but I'm just trying to keep it real. And I want to believe that I can do something and affect change. And I can do that in most every area of my life. And I hope to be able to do it with literally calling this company to the carpet and just adding to the truth of what they're about. And hopefully, um, I think it would be friggin' amazing if they literally crashed and were put out of business. So the bank that I want to review is Wells Fargo. And in just keeping it 100% real, Wells Fargo is the worst bank in the world. And while I want to just acknowledge and appreciate the people, like the representatives and the people that work there who, since I've been there since 2007, there's some lovely people that are just angels. And I feel badly for them. My mom worked there for like 25 years. And generally, people that work there are literally caught in a trap. Like they are literally imprisoned. They're like, they hate it, but they're in the system. They got caught in the system like my mom did. And everyone that I know that has ever worked there hates it there. And why Wells Fargo is still in business has a lot to do with the shady maneuverings of the U.S. government, as usual, and their ability to just be shady and do a bunch of shady shit and then still just keep going. Um, But it's neither here nor there. They are a bank, like many banks, that don't really care about people. I mean, let's get real. Banking is super far behind the times, and we're in 2024. We're almost in 25. The technology of the world is amazing. Banking is behind. Wells Fargo is one of the worst that there is. And in my experience with them since 2007, what I want to be very clear about, because who knows in the future what might go on with this, is that I, in dealing with them, legitimately, and I am a doctor, I would know, have PTSD from them. I have diagnosable complex PTSD from dealing with this bank. And who knows what the future might hold with that? I mean, who knows? They have literally damaged me as a person. And I know you might say, well, Dr. T, why don't you just go with another bank? And the truth is that I have, and I'm on my way to doing that. But I was caught up in that system because I spent years and years building up my business, putting millions, running millions of dollars through that process, doing everything you could do with Wells Fargo. I had everything, a mortgage, I had a business account, a merchant account, everything you could have with them. A few years ago, I was like, I need to get out of this relationship. It's a freaking abusive one, and I hate it. And their vibration is horrible. You get on with them or you get on their platform, it's a horrible vibe. It's a bad frequency. And then I found out that when I tried to move to another bank, like it was going to take me years and years to build up like a couple $100,000 of credit that I had with Wells Fargo from my business from, decades of building that up. So I realized I was like, snap back, boomerang back. Like, if I actually want to leave, you have to have like a 5-year plan to leave a bank. And my mom, who worked at Wells Fargo, was like, that's on purpose. They don't want you to leave. They know that's what they're doing to you. Um, so as I tried to go with this other bank, and I was all excited, I was like, oh my God, I'm in my power. I can do something. I don't have to be stuck in this abusive relationship and be traumatized every single time I do anything with them. Whether I try to do something on their platform and it doesn't work, whether I try to do something in the branch and it doesn't work. These people spent 2.5 years making me go into the branch 13 times to simply change my name from my married name back to my maiden name. And then 17 total times where I had to like fax something to change my name. 2.5 years. The word is PTSD. The truth is it's trauma. And I think we all have a lot of that from banks. And I think a lot of people probably from their banks and Wells Fargo particularly. And I just want to be clear about it. They cause damage to people. They cause injury to people. It's real. And whenever I have banking to do with them, keeping it 100 real, I will sometimes postpone and avoid it for like a month because I have like the PTSD response. Like I can't put myself through it again. Tonight, I just had a call with them where I needed to go through, like, there were just charges on my accounts that shouldn't have been there, random charges. And admittedly, I waited like 2 months. They pile up, I wait, I try to get myself to make these calls because you just want to do it online, but the system doesn't allow you to just do a dispute online. 2024, almost 25, you can't just enter it online. So tonight I go on with Wells Fargo and I've got this list and we going through it and the woman is like, well, we can't do them one at a time. We have to like open them all up and do them all at once. And I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like I'm thinking like, what if you lose your workflow and let's just do them one at a time. Move on, do the next one. Hour in, she's like, oh my God, the system just erased everything that we did. We were like literally done. I was like in Wells Fargo jail, as I call it, on one of these calls. Granted, the woman was lovely. And let me just say this. The first time I called in, I spent 15 minutes with someone. They hung up on me. They can't call you back because they say, oh, it's inbound. We can't call you out. I'm like, how convenient for you, Wells Fargo, but not for the client. So I start over. She does the thing. And I say, why don't we just do them one at a time? And she says, well, no, Wells Fargo won't let me do that. I cross my fingers. Here we go again. We're taking a risk. Another hour. She inputs everything. We're almost done. I'm almost home free. She goes, oh my God, I can't believe this. It erased it all again. We have to start over. I literally went into a trauma response that is like so cellularly in my DNA from years of dealing with Wells Fargo and this kind of BS. I literally almost had a panic attack because I'm trapped in Wells Fargo jail, which is how it feels. And when I tell you, and hey, Wells Fargo, I'm letting you know, you are literally causing me damage just by me banking with you. And while I have almost all of my money out, so I took almost everything out because I'm leaving Wells Fargo and I've been transitioning steadily over to a bank called WIO, WIO, which I do highly recommend. They actually function in the age of technology like a bank should as a technology company. All companies at this point should be technology companies first and whatever they are second. But it's very, very slow to do it. You have to literally work up, build up all this credit so you have the same credit. You have to have like a 5-year plan to get out of a relationship with a company like Wells Fargo. Chase is not really any better. Bank of America is probably the same. And I'm just really encouraging everybody to go to banks like WIO. So twice tonight, everything got erased. And then the woman starting over on the third time. And I definitely had a response. I was like, with all due respect to you, you're an angel, but I am really not doing well. She tried to like talk me out of my feelings. I was like, you know what? The proper response is to say, I'm so sorry. Of course, this is not okay. Let me fix it. So she tries to get her supervisor to let her enter the disputes one at a time. Puts me on hold for 15 minutes, comes back. The supervisor says yes. We're 10 minutes into that. We're now in we're 2.5 hours. She freaking hangs up on me. And all it is like literally the symphony of Wells Fargo trauma and complex PTSD. I was like, it's literally the experience that I beg the universe not to give me when I have to literally deal with them. And I'm almost done. I'm like a few months away from literally having everything out of there. But I'm like, why am I continuing to go on in my life decade after decade in this system, not saying anything, suffering in the pain of it because we're in 2025 almost. And these banks are so horrific. And let's get really real. They don't give a beep, an F about you. I was like, when the first person hung up on me, I'm like, you guys should be able to just dial the phone back and call me. I'm a human being. They're like, we only can take inbound calls. I'm like, how convenient for you, but not for the client. And I've dealt with this before. I have been where I have had to call in 6 times. I've started something with somebody, you get hung up on, you have to start over. It hurt. And I know I was saying to this woman, I go, I can either be like intense and feeling kind of angry, which is one thing, or I can just break down in a puddle and cry. So then I had to call back in, and I was like, because all you want to do is complete the thing you have to do. So you don't have to fucking deal with Wells Fargo again. Excuse my language. I call in, they escalate it. And I go, I know nothing's going to change. And thank God the woman, Beatrice, was like, yeah, nothing's going to change, but I am sorry. And I'm just like, I'm just going to add my 2 cents in. Like, in case anybody's trying to figure out what bank to use, don't go to Wells Fargo. When I tell you Wells Fargo is the worst bank in the world, I tell you that from experience, and I tell you that because as a person that's an empath, and I am a human projector, for any of you that don't know human design, I'm a projector, so I feel everything. Their vibration is literally deadly to people's system. Their vibe is so low. Everything has a frequency, everything is energy. They are literally not giving a about you. There are fortunately new banks and there's new innovative companies, and WEO is one of them. And shout out to WEO. Feel free to give me a sponsorship deal here. WEO is night and day. And I'm positive they're in the US too. I live in Dubai now because I had to leave the US because everything operates like Wells Fargo in the US. But I think WEO is in the US as well. Run as fast as you can from Wells Fargo. Do not put your money there. If you have it, make an escape plan because they've tried to trap you there. I got trapped there because I had so much credit, like a couple $100,000 of credit to run my business. Didn't want to leave it. Now I'm like, I don't care. I will spend years building up credit with this other company. I'm out of there. If I could give a message to anyone considering Wells Fargo Bank, going into it or even potentially leaving it, run as fast as you can. Escape from it. Don't let them damage you because even a phone call into Wells Fargo literally triggers a truly traumatic response that is beyond stress, that is beyond frustration, that is beyond any, it is injury and pain. And now I have since 2007 with this company. They are no better than they were then. They don't give a, if you have been there forever, you are nothing to them. And like, I would love, literally love, if I could participate in any way, shape, or form in having everyone who ever sees this video share it with other people and get everyone you know to take your money out of Wells Fargo. My hope is like, let's shoot for like 10 million people sending this video around. Let's affect some change. Like, you know, I mean, it's late at night and making this fit. It's like, what am I supposed to spend my life just struggling in this stupid system of our world and not say anything? I'm like, I'm not really one of these people that like wants to spend my life complaining, but like it hurts. And I don't think people like this should get to do this to people. It's not okay. And this is just like some small example. They are just awful. They're terrible. You should be able to do everything online. You should be able to do many, many different things with them. And again, it took 2.5 years to change my married name to my maiden name. When I was counting down the days, 13 times I had to go into the branch. Ridiculous. You all have your Wells Fargo stories. We all have our painful banking stories. Let's do something about it. I would love to see 10 million of us take all of our money out of Wells Fargo, take everything away, go somewhere else. Let's just go on an anti-Wells Fargo revolution. Let's just do it. Just join me. And if you feel like you might want to be part of this anti-Wells Fargo revolution, let's see them. I mean, I don't know how many people would actually take. This is the number I'm receiving. If 10 million people took all of their money out of their bank, like after they see this video, I think that would do something. It may need more than that, but let's start with 10 million. See this, comment, let me know if you're going to do it. Just give me a comment that says I'm out of there and I am let's just say I am escaping Wells Fargo too. So it's called Escape from Wells Fargo. This is the revolution. Maybe it's even like take down Wells Fargo. I don't know. I just want to see people who are not giving an about people. These companies, I just want to see them. I just want to see them gone from the face of this planet. We can do so much better. It's 2024. Why do things like banking and healthcare have to be so antiquated? Like, where are all the amazing technology companies? Why can't they just change the banking industry? Let's just do something. Why do we all have to suffer in this torture? Let's escape from Wells Fargo. Put a comment. I'm escaping too. Send this around to everyone you know. Let's create a revolution, which is we are all the out of Wells Fargo. All right, everyone. This is the review maker, Dr. T here. Thanks for joining me in this revolution. Take care. Bye-bye.